Beloved, let me reveal to you a truth that will change the way you see every relationship in your life. Nothing is accidental. Every person who enters your path has been arranged by an infinite intelligence. The conversations, the meetings, the friendships, even the ones that seemed like chance encounters, none of them were random. They are divine appointments, woven into your destiny by the unseen hand of God. And when you recognize this, your whole outlook shifts, for you will understand that every connection in your life is divinely arranged, not accidental. Every connection in your life is divinely arranged, not accidental. When you look closely at the story of your life, you will realize that nothing truly happens by chance. The people you meet, the relationships you form, even the briefest encounters, all are threads in a divine tapestry being woven with perfect precision. Every connection that enters your world has been arranged by a wisdom that surpasses human calculation. The universe is not chaotic. It is ordered, structured, and deeply intelligent. The infinite mind sees the end from the beginning, and so every connection that shows up in your path carries a purpose, visible or invisible, immediate or unfolding. You may think you met someone randomly at a cafe, or that a friendship sparked simply because you happened to sit next to a certain person in a classroom or workplace. Yet when you peel back the surface appearance, you discover that these so-called coincidences are divine appointments. The timing, the place, the circumstances, all aligned in a way beyond your conscious planning. It was the silent orchestration of spirit, moving pieces like a grand chessboard, ensuring that you meet the ones you are meant to meet. When you understand this, life no longer feels fragmented or meaningless. Instead, it becomes a journey of recognition. You start to ask, why was this person sent to me? What gift, what lesson, what reflection do they carry? You begin to see relationships not as accidents, but as assignment. The bitterness of betrayal, the sweetness of loyalty, the challenge of conflict, and the comfort of love. All are chapters written by a divine author, who knows exactly what your soul requires for its expansion. Think of the people who shaped you most deeply. Perhaps a teacher, whose words ignited your imagination. Perhaps a stranger who showed you unexpected kindness when you were at your lowest. Perhaps a partner who loved you fiercely and taught you the meaning of devotion. Or even the one who broke your heart, forcing you to grow stronger, to know your worth, to rise above dependence. Were they accidents? No. Each one was sent into your orbit with divine precision, carrying within them a role, a spark, a lesson meant only for you. This realization frees you from regret. You stop asking, why did I meet them? Why did I go through this? Instead, you begin to say, I see now. They came because something in me needed to be awakened. Every soul who crosses your path is a messenger in disguise, and their presence, even if temporary, is essential to your unfolding story. Even those who stayed only a moment had their purpose. The fleeting smile from a stranger could have been the lifeline that lifted you on a dark day. The quick word of encouragement from someone you barely knew might have kept you from giving up. God arranges these intersections with perfection, because He knows how delicate, how precise, how deeply interwoven our journeys must be. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is random. Every connection is sacred. And when you walk with this awareness, you begin to see the invisible order behind what once looked like chaos. God assigns people as blessings, lessons, or mirrors for your growth. Not all people are sent into your life for the same reason. Some come as blessings, gentle, loving presences who uplift you, support you, and remind you of your divine worth. They may be friends, partners, mentors, or even silent companions who through their very existence bring light into your world. Blessings often arrive when you need confirmation, when your soul is weary, when your path feels uncertain. These chosen souls become vessels through which God pours His love, guidance, and reassurance into your life. They are living reminders that you are not alone, that heaven has heard your prayer, that goodness still surrounds you. But not everyone comes to comfort. Some are assigned as lessons. These are the ones who stretch you, challenge you, sometimes wound. They test your patience, your strength, your ability to forgive, your capacity to rise above. Lessons are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to refine you. The difficult friend, the harsh critic, the betrayer, the one who disappointed you deeply, all of them play a sacred role. They mirror back to you the unhealed parts of yourself. They press on your weaknesses so that strength can be born. They strip away illusions so that truth can stand clear. Lessons may hurt, but they are never wasted. When you reflect on the trials you faced through people, you often discover that those very challenges forged qualities in you that blessings alone could not produce. Without the critic, you might never have discovered your inner confidence. Without the betrayer, you might never have learned discernment. Without the one who rejected you, you might never have realized your own worth. God knows that growth often requires friction, and so He assigns lessons disguised as people who stir something deeper in. And then there are mirrors. Mirrors are unique souls who reveal to you who you truly are. Sometimes they reflect your highest self. They inspire you, encourage you, and show you the greatness within you that you could not yet see. Other times, mirrors reflect the shadows you deny. They may trigger jealousy, fear, anger, or insecurity. Not because they are wrong, but because they reveal something unhealed within you. Mirrors show you the state of your inner world by the reaction they awaken in you. If someone's presence consistently draws out peace and joy, they are reflecting your alignment with divine harmony. If another's presence provokes irritation or envy, they are reflecting the areas where healing and self-awareness are needed. When you see people in this light, judgment dissolves. You no longer label them simply as good or bad. Instead, you see their role, blessing, lesson, or mirror. Each role is necessary. Each role is sacred. Each role contributes to your evolution. You stop resenting those who hurt you and start asking, what was this meant to teach me? What within me is being shown here? And you also stop idolizing those who uplift you, because you realize they are not the source. They are the channel through which God's love is flowing. This understanding changes the way you relate to everyone. The blessing fills you with gratitude. The lesson fills you with wisdom. The mirror fills you with self-awareness. And together they weave a pattern of growth that could not have been achieved by one type alone. God, in His infinite intelligence, assigns each soul with perfect precision. None arrive without purpose. None depart without reason. Each is part of the curriculum of your life, designed for your growth, expansion, and awakening. When you walk with this awareness, relationships no longer confuse you. They enlighten you. You see beyond personalities into divine assignments, and life itself becomes the greatest classroom of all. The right people strengthen your faith and awaken hidden gifts. There are people whom God appoints to walk into your life at the exact moment when your spirit needs strengthening. They do not arrive too early, nor do they come too late. They show up precisely at the divine intersection of your need and God's time. These are the right people, souls chosen and assigned by the Infinite to speak into your life, to stand beside you, and to draw out qualities within you that might otherwise remain dormant. Sometimes these people are encouragers, carrying words that lift your weary heart. At other times they are visionaries, who see in you what you cannot yet see in yourself. Their presence brings light to the hidden corners of your potential. They awaken gifts that had been buried under doubt, fear, or past disappointment. Without them, you might never have discovered the depth of your calling, the strength of your character, or the brilliance of your spirit. Think of a time when you were discouraged, uncertain, perhaps even ready to give up. Then someone appeared, a mentor, a friend, or even a stranger, who spoke just the right words. They may have offered you guidance, or simply believed in you when you could not believe in yourself. That encounter was not random. It was orchestrated by a God who knows when you are close to surrendering and sends the right soul to remind you of your inner power. The right people act as catalysts. They stir the gifts inside you like a spark ignites dry wood. They call out your courage when fear tries to silence you. They remind you of your worth when the world makes you feel small. They give you vision when your eyes are clouded with uncertainty. Their influence is not merely external. It penetrates the soul, awakening strengths you never imagined you carried. There are also those who strengthen your faith, not through words, but through their example. They embody resilience, integrity, and devotion, and by observing their lives, your own faith grows. Their walk becomes a testimony that inspires you to stand taller, to trust deeper, to keep moving forward. They show you that faith is not abstract. It is a living force that transforms lives. The presence of the right people can even redirect your destiny. They may introduce you to opportunities you could never have accessed alone. They may guide you toward choices that align with your purpose. They may simply stand as a shield of encouragement during storms that would have otherwise broken you. And though you may think of them as ordinary, their impact proves extraordinary. Understand this: God places these people strategically. They are not accidents. They are divine instruments, tuned to resonate with the melody of your destiny. And often you will find that your gifts, once awakened by them, become blessings not only for yourself, but for others. In awakening you, they awaken countless lives that you will later touch. The right people are treasures, but they are not always recognized at first. Sometimes they come in simple forms: an unlikely friend, a quiet supporter, an unassuming mentor. But if you look with spiritual eyes, you will see that their presence is extraordinary. They are chosen for you to remind you of the divine seed planted within your soul, waiting for the moment to bloom. Some are sent to challenge you, shaping your destiny through refinement. Not every person assigned to you will bring comfort. Some are sent to stretch you, to confront you, to challenge the limits of your patience, faith, and character. These are the ones who, though difficult, play a sacred role in your journey. They are not punishments. They are instruments of refinement. Through their presence, God shapes you into the person you are destined to become. Challenges often come in the form of people: a critic who questions your choices, a rival who pushes you to grow sharper, a friend who betrays your trust, a loved one whose harsh words pierce deeply. At first glance, you may resent them, wishing they had never entered your life. Yet when you look back, you see that their very opposition was what forced you to develop strength you never knew you had. Consider the process of refining gold. It cannot shine in its raw form. It must be subjected to heat and pressure until the impurities are burned away. So it is with your soul. The people who challenge you are like the fire that removes what does not belong. They expose pride, fear, impatience, and weakness, so that courage, humility, endurance, and faith can emerge. Without the fire, the gold remains hidden. Without the challenge, your true strength remains untested. When you encounter these refining relationships, you may feel frustration, even pain. Yet within that struggle lies a sacred purpose. The critic forces you to clarify your vision. The betrayer teaches you discernment and self-reliance. The rival compels you to rise above mediocrity and strive for excellence. The difficult companion reveals your need for compassion, forgiveness, or boundaries. Each challenge chisels away at the rough edges of your soul, shaping you into a vessel worthy of greater purpose. These challenging people are also mirrors of your inner world. They draw out reactions that reveal what still needs healing. If someone's words provoke anger, it may reveal pride. If their rejection wounds deeply, it may reveal insecurity. If their betrayal devastates you, it may reveal misplaced dependence. By stirring these reactions, they expose what you must bring into the light for transformation. And though their presence may feel like an obstacle, it is in truth a stepping stone. Every hero's journey is marked by trials and adversaries. Without them, there is no growth, no maturity, no depth. The very resistance you face becomes the catalyst for greatness. You do not grow strong by ease, but by overcoming. And God, knowing this, appoints certain souls to act as the very instruments of your overcoming. It is important to see them not with bitterness, but with wisdom. Instead of asking, "Why is this person making my life so difficult?" you begin to ask, "What is this person meant to teach me? What is being refined in me through this challenge?" With that perspective, even the most painful encounters become sacred opportunities. You see that those who opposed you, criticized you, or disappointed you were in fact tools of divine shaping. Some of the greatest growth in your life will come from those who challenged you most severely. They will push you into the deeper waters of faith, endurance, and wisdom. They may even redirect you from a path that was too small for your destiny. Their resistance, though uncomfortable, is often the hand of God, turning you toward something greater. Without these challenges, you would remain untested, unprepared, and unaware of the depths within you. But with them, you emerge stronger, wiser, and more refined, like gold shining after the fire. If God chose them, no one can remove them. If not, they will fade. There is a sacred certainty in knowing that what is divinely appointed cannot be stolen, shaken, or destroyed. When God places someone in your life, their presence is sealed by a power higher than human will. No gossip can uproot them. No envy can push them away. No storm can separate what has been joined by the hand of the Eternal. If God chose them for you, their place in your journey is unshakable. You may have seen how people sometimes try to interfere, to disrupt, to manipulate relationships. Words may be spoken, doubts may be stirred. Circumstances may seem designed to drive you apart, but when God is the author of a connection, Such efforts collapse like shadows before the rising sun. The bond remains untouched and unbroken. That which is divine cannot be undone by the hands of men. Think of the relationships in your life that endured through difficulty. Perhaps there were seasons of silence, conflict, or distance. Yet somehow, against all odds, the bond held. Despite what others said, despite the trials that rose, you found that the connection remained. Why? Because it was not built on mere human desire. It was planted and watered by God Himself, and what He plants, He protects. On the other hand, when God has not chosen someone for you, no matter how hard you try, no matter how deeply you cling, the connection will eventually wither. You may plead, you may pursue, you may pour your energy into holding it together, but it will slip through your grasp like sand. This is not cruelty. It is mercy, for what is not aligned with your destiny will weigh you down, and God in His love ensures that such ties fade away. The fading may be painful. You may feel abandoned or rejected when someone drifts from your life. Yet in truth, their departure is protection. It is divine removal of what could hinder your growth, block your path, or distract you from the greater plan. Sometimes the fading is gradual, like a slow loosening of a knot. Other times it is sudden, like a door slamming shut. In both cases, the hand of God is at work, preserving your destiny by clearing what does not belong. This principle frees your heart from fear. You no longer cling desperately to people, afraid of losing them. You no longer beg for someone to stay who is meant to leave. Instead, you rest in the quiet confidence that what is meant for you will never be lost, and what is not meant for you will never truly remain. You live with open hands, receiving who God sends, releasing who God removes, knowing that His choices are always perfect. If God chose them, their place is secure. They may travel far, they may stumble, they may even leave for a season, but they will return. For divine connections are bound by a thread that cannot be cut. If God did not choose them, then no effort of yours can force permanence where heaven has decreed impermanence. Their exit is part of the plan, clearing space for what is greater to come. To live in this awareness is to live in peace. You stop grasping. You stop fearing. You stop chasing what is slipping away. Instead, you allow God to be the keeper of your connections. You trust His appointments, His removals, His timing, and in that trust, you find rest for your soul. Rejection is often divine protection and redirection. Few experiences cut as deeply as rejection. To be turned away, to be left behind, to be told no when your heart longed for yes. These moments can wound the spirit and tempt you into despair. Yet rejection, when seen through spiritual eyes, is rarely the curse it appears to be. More often it is protection. It is heaven's way of closing a door that would have led you astray. It is God's gentle yet firm redirection towards something greater. Rejection feels like loss, but it is actually preservation. You may not see what lies behind the curtain of the future, but God does. He sees the pain that would have come from the wrong partnership. He sees the betrayal that would have followed the wrong friendship. He sees the emptiness that would have unfolded had you walked through a door not meant for you. And so, in His mercy, He allows rejection to block your path, sparing you from what you cannot yet perceive. Think of the times in your life when you were denied something you desperately wanted. Perhaps it was a relationship, a job, or an opportunity that you thought was essential. At the time, the no felt devastating. Yet later you saw how it cleared the way for something far better. That no was not punishment, it was divine redirection, a turning of your steps toward a higher destiny. Rejection also serves to refine you. Why? It teaches resilience, humility, and trust. It forces you to release the illusion of control and lean into the greater wisdom of God. It reminds you that your worth is not determined by human approval, but by divine choice. When someone rejects you, they are not diminishing your value. They are simply revealing that their role in your journey is complete, or that they were never assigned to you in the first place. Sometimes rejection is the loudest form of guidance. It says clearly, this is not your path. This is not your person. This is not your door. Without such clarity, you might waste years pursuing what could never have fulfilled you. Rejection spares you that sorrow. It may feel harsh, but it is mercy disguised. When you embrace rejection as protection, you stop fighting it. You stop begging people to stay who were never meant to walk with you. You stop forcing doors to open that heaven has closed. Instead, you begin to trust that every no is leading you to a greater yes. Every closed door is pointing you to the right one. Every ending is a disguised beginning. Redirection often follows quickly after rejection. The moment a wrong door closes, another begins to open. At first, you may not see it. The pain of rejection blinds your vision. But with time, as you keep moving forward, the new path emerges, and often you discover that what lies ahead far surpasses what you thought you lost. Rejection is not the universe against you. It is the universe protecting you. It is the voice of God whispering, "Not this way, my child. I have something better prepared." And when you walk with this awareness, rejection loses its sting. It no longer feels like an ending, but like a sacred turning of the page, guiding you toward the chapter that was written for you all along. Trusting God's choices removes anxiety about who stays or leaves. When you trust that every person in your life is divinely appointed, you release the burden of control. You no longer spend sleepless nights wondering if someone will abandon you or if a bond will break. You understand that what is meant to remain will remain, and what must leave will leave, and in both the hand of God is at work. This trust quiets the restless mind, calms the fearful heart, and allows you to live in peace. Instead of clinging in desperation, you walk in assurance that divine order governs every connection, freeing you from the weight of uncertainty. Divine connections always bring peace, clarity, and spiritual upliftment. One of the surest signs that someone has been chosen for you is the atmosphere they carry into your life. Their presence brings calm rather than confusion, clarity rather than chaos, and upliftment rather than depletion. You feel strengthened in their company, not drained. They may challenge you, but even in challenge, they call you higher rather than pulling you down. Divine connections resonate with harmony, as though your spirit recognizes theirs without effort. When they speak, wisdom flows. When they act, peace follows. Their very existence in your path becomes confirmation that heaven has sent. When aligned, the right people open doors you could not open alone. There are certain doors in life, opportunities, breakthroughs, seasons of increase that you cannot step through by your own strength. God often appoints people as keys to those doors. They may introduce you to the right opportunity, speak your name in rooms you've never entered, or stand beside you when your own influence falls short. These divinely aligned people act as bridges, carrying you across places you could never cross alone. Their presence is not accidental. It is strategic. They are positioned to unlock what has been prepared for you, not by force or manipulation, but by divine timing and favor. Looking back, you will see God's unmistakable fingerprint on every chosen relationship. In the moment, You may not always recognize the hand of God at work. Relationships may seem ordinary, random, or even confusing, but when you look back, clarity comes. You realize that certain encounters were too precise, too timely, too filled with purpose to be coincident. The people who lifted you, challenged you, or even redirected you were all part of a greater plan. In hindsight, you see divine order woven into the fabric of your story, and each chosen relationship bears the mark of a higher intelligence guiding your steps. Now, as you reflect on this sacred truth, you see the pattern clearly. God assigns people as blessings, as lessons, and as mirrors for your growth. The right ones strengthen your faith and awaken hidden gifts within you, while others challenge and refine you until you shine like pure gold. If He has chosen them, no power on earth can remove them. If not, they will fade, for rejection itself is often divine protection and redirection. Trusting His choices frees you from anxiety about who stays or who leaves, and it allows you to rest in the certainty that divine connections bring peace, clarity, and upliftment. When you align with those chosen souls, doors open that you could never open alone. And when you look back, you will see God's unmistakable fingerprint on every chosen relationship, etched into the story of your life with perfect wisdom. Beloved, remember this: you are never walking alone, and every person sent to you carries a role in the unfolding of your destiny. This is the sacred order of life, the divine choreography of God's hand upon you. This was your moment of awakening here on Where Timeless Wisdom Meets the Deepest Truth of Your Soul.